Hey everyone, Mark for Guitar Nerds here, counting down my top 5 weirdest Fender guitars ever. So stick around and let's get weird.
Number 5.
At number 5 we have a budget-friendly signature model brought to you by one of the greatest guitarists of her generation.
Hey, so glad you could make it. Yeah, now you really made it. Hey, so glad you could make it now.
That's right, in 1997 Courtney Love became only the second female guitarist after Bonnie Raitt to be given a Fender signature model. Released as part of the Vista series, the Venus featured an offset body, humbucking and single coil pickups, pretty awesome neck binding and through body stringing. As well as the regular 6-string version, Squier also released a 12-string that could be often seen in the hands of Crispin Mills from Cooler Shaker, before both were discontinued only a year after launch. So in summary, we have Courtney Love to thank for bringing us one of the weirdest Fender guitars ever made. Bizarre.
Number 4.
In the 30 years since Fender first produced the Strat, music had gone from this to this. And to be honest, Fender was struggling to keep up. The single coil twang of the Strat and Telly were out, and big, powerful, overdriven humbuckers were all the rage. Fender's answer? The Fender Performer. Produced in Japan in 1985, the Performer featured twin custom humbuckers and the Fender System 1 floating tremolo. Perfect for all your hair metal needs. Sadly, this pointy oddity failed to set the world on fire and was discontinued only a year into production. However, it did introduce the world to the notched tone system, similar to the TBX control you see on many Fender guitars today.
Number 3.
At number 3, we have another short-lived attempt to crack the heavy metal market, but unlike the Performer, this couldn't be much further away from Fender's traditional shapes. Designed by Fender's marketing director Dan Smith, the Katana took inspiration from the Jackson Randy Rhodes and featured an offset V shape. It also had 2 humbuckers, a glued neck, and a single lock-in trem system. Shortly after, Fender also released a Squier version, which featured a short-scale bolt-on neck, but unfortunately neither of them lasted the year and were both discontinued by 1986. Now for those of you curious about the low end, Squier also released a bass version, which essentially took P-bass parts and grafted them onto that Katana body shape. Now all 3 are super rare, but if you've still got a mullet and you love wearing spandex, they do occasionally pop up on eBay, so keep your eyes out.
Number 2.
At the tail end of the 1960s, Fender's established models were more popular than ever, but a series of experiments with guitars such as the Electric Bass 5 and the Electric Bass 12 left them with a lot of unused bodies and necks. Now rather than ditch this stock, Fender asked product manager Virgilio Simoni to come up with a new guitar that would take some of the old unused parts and recycle them into a brand new model. Unusually, Simoni bypassed the research and development stage entirely, essentially designing the guitar while he was building it on the factory floor. Carving new curves into the unused Bass 5 bodies and attaching a Music Master neck, Simoni created what he called the Music Lander, a guitar that would later come to be known as the Fender Swinger. Only 250 Swingers were ever produced, and the guitar never reached the heights of other student models such as the Music Master or the Mustang. Because of this, the guitar faded from people's consciousness and is now one of the rarest and weirdest guitars Fender has ever produced.
Number 1.
At number 1 in my list of top 5 weirdest Fender guitars ever is the Fender Marauder. Now there's going to be some confusion here because over the years Fender have released a few guitars under the Marauder name, most recently the Chinese-built modern player Marauder. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about 2 guitars that never even made it past the prototype stage. First seen in 1964, the Type 1 Marauder was a truly bizarre instrument, featuring 4 super powerful pickups mounted directly underneath the scratch plate. This unique feature was implemented to distinguish the guitar from Fender's other models and give it a talking point to set it apart from the competition. Unfortunately, this model never made it into the public hands, and only 4 were ever produced, appearing in Fender's 1965 catalogue and at some specific dealer fairs. However, in mid-1966, Fender did return to the Marauder body shape. The Type 2 featured 3 Jaguar pickups, with the bridge pickup angled, just like a Strat. It also had the widest range of controls ever seen on a Fender instrument, with 7 switches, 2 volumes and 2 tones. Only 8 of the Type 2 were ever produced, 4 with regular frets and 4 with angled frets for improved playability, and it's not known how many of these survive today. This scarcity and the unique features of the Marauder make it my weirdest Fender guitar ever. So there we have it. That was my top 5 weirdest Fender guitars of all time. If there's any I've missed or you didn't like my picks, please tell me about it in the comments below. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to the Guitar Nerds channel. We'll be putting up loads more top 5s featuring other manufacturers and other topics. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again.